Get ready for the action, because Andy Roddick has dropped his verdict on the cramping debate. Roddick weighs in on Daniil Medvedev's proposal to allow medical timeouts for cramps, sharing his take on whether players will abuse these changes. And you won't want to miss his detailed analysis of the controversy surrounding Jannik Sinner and Medvedev's match. Cemented his position atop the earnings charts heading into the French Open. Finally, we look at the players with unfinished business at Roland Garros. We break down the 5 stars, including Carlos Alcaraz and Aryna Sabalenka, who are chasing those final trophies, and find out who might be ready to exorcise their demons this year. Stay tuned for all the updates. Former World No. 1 Andy Roddick has weighed in on the ongoing debate regarding medical timeouts for cramping in professional tennis, offering a nuanced perspective on the proposals put forward by Daniil Medvedev. The discussion stems from an incident during the Italian Open semifinal, where Jannik Sinner reportedly called for a trainer due to an apparent leg issue, prompting contention with Medvedev, who felt Sinner appeared to be cramping despite ATP Tour rules limiting treatment for cramps to changes of ends. Medvedev suggested allowing medical timeouts for cramps, arguing for a mechanism to address such issues. Roddick acknowledged the merit in this idea, but cautioned against potential misuse of the new rule, stating that players might abuse such changes. Roddick commented on the controversy, noting visual signs of distress in Sinner late in the 3rd set, suggesting that players might attempt to manipulate decision-making by claiming cramps. He agreed with the underlying rationale for the proposed rule change, emphasizing that players should be able to seek treatment for legitimate issues, such as muscle fatigue, rather than mislabeling them as cramps. Going further than Medvedev's suggestion, Roddick proposed specific limitations to prevent abuse. He argued that if medical timeouts for cramping were implemented, they should not be permitted before a player serves. He expressed concern that this could lead to players using the provision to gain an unfair advantage, such as icing a competitor who is attempting to serve out a set. Roddick suggested that such provisions should not apply when a player is physically fit and required to serve, potentially ruling out usage during switchovers. He stressed that the rules must be designed to prevent players from claiming cramps to gain time or advantage during critical moments. Jannik Sinner has cemented his status as a dominant force in tennis, breaking numerous records during his exceptional run at the Masters 1000 tournaments this year. The star has achieved a remarkable unbeaten streak across 1,000 tournaments, surpassing Novak Djokovic in the top spot and becoming the first player in history to secure 6 consecutive Masters titles. The world number 1 is now focused on Roland Garros, where he has a significant opportunity to capture the clay court Grand Slam for the 6th time. A victory at Roland Garros would crown Sinner the holder of the career Grand Slam, making him the 3rd youngest player to achieve this monumental feat. Despite his current dominance, tennis legends suggest there are records that remain virtually insurmountable. Adriano Panatta, an Italian tennis legend, stated that winning Roland Garros 14 times, akin to Rafael Nadal, would be superhuman and perhaps impossible for the world number 1. However, Panatta lauded Sinner's character, describing him as the prototype of the current generation due to his exemplary behavior on and off the court. Sinner's pursuit of the French Open title has been intense. Last year, he reached the final for the first time, narrowly missing the trophy in an all-time classic final against Carlos Alcaraz. In that match, Sinner held 3 consecutive match points in the 4th set but ultimately fell short after Alcaraz secured a decisive tiebreak victory. The path to the title this year appears clearer, as Alcaraz has withdrawn from the event due to a wrist injury sustained at the Barcelona Open. Sinner is now positioned to challenge for the Grand Slam title against strong competition, including Novak Djokovic, Alexander Zverev, Daniil Medvedev, and Casper Ruud, though the Italian remains the overwhelming favorite. Jannik Sinner has achieved a remarkable financial milestone, netting just under £1 million, or $1.3 million, in prize money from tournaments in the last 137 days following his recent victory at the Italian Open. This success has propelled him to a staggering total of £5 million, or $6.7 million, in earnings, making him the top earner for the year. The triumph came when the four-time Grand Slam champion defeated Casper Ruud in straight sets at the Masters 1000 tournament in Rome. This win marks Sinner's first victory at his home tournament and establishes him as the second player in tennis history to capture the career Golden Masters, trailing only Novak Djokovic. Sinner's financial performance is set to escalate further as the French Open approaches. He is positioned to secure a substantial £2.4 million, or $3.2 million, prize money at Roland Garros, where he is the clear favorite to win the title, especially as last year's champion, Carlos Alcaraz, is expected to miss the event due to injury. Speaking after his Italian Open win, Sinner expressed his satisfaction despite acknowledging the competitive nature of the tournament. He stated, "I don't know, it's tough to say. I think this year was the 50th year since an Italian won the tournament, and really happy, a lot of tension on both sides. It was not perfect tennis for both of us, but I'm really happy. Incredible last 2.5 months. Yeah, I try to put myself in the best possible position every time, trying to do the best I can, and not every day is simple, but I'm really happy." He also credited his physical team, including his physio and trainer, for helping him maintain his physical condition throughout the demanding season. 5 top tennis players are converging on Paris for Roland Garros, not just to compete, but to settle long-standing, unfinished business from previous years. The tournament is set to be a crucible for several stars who have repeatedly reached the final stages of the French Open, but have yet to claim the title. The Italian player stands out with the most significant history of near misses. Last year's final against Carlos Alcaraz saw him up 2-0 and hold a triple match point in the 4th set before ultimately falling in 5 sets. This pattern of intense closeness is mirrored by a semi-final run where he led Alcaraz by 2-1, also ending in 5 sets. Other contenders carry similar baggage. Sabalenka, who defeated Iga Swiatek in the semifinals before losing in the final, was tantalizingly close to winning her first major on clay last year. Statistically, the German player is the most accomplished men's tennis player in history to never win a Grand Slam title, having reached the final and led Alcaraz by 2-1 2 years ago. He has also consistently been in contention, reaching multiple semifinals and quarterfinals in Paris. For the men, Zverev, the number 2 seed, faces a significant challenge against the Italian, potentially facing a 9-match losing streak if the Italian is present. Ruud, a 3-time Grand Slam finalist, is also seeking his first major title, aiming to avenge his straight-set losses to Nadal and Djokovic in major finals, particularly against Djokovic in 2023. On the women's side, Karolina Muchova has returned to the top 10 and carries the memory of stunning Sabalenka from match point in the 2023 semifinals. Amanda Anisimova, while known for her Wimbledon and US Open finals, had a significant Paris breakthrough in 2019, reaching a semifinal where she led Ashley Barty by a set and 3 games before falling short. Roland Garros promises to be a tournament defined not just by current form, but by the quest to exorcise these past demons for these elite athletes.